Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Abby K here, and we are going to cover this AMA from the developers over for Atlas Fallen, which I believe that is Deck 13. I thought this was pretty cool to see, especially right before the game comes out, which it launches in 2 days. So sit back, relax, and let's see what we can. Let's see what they said. All right. All right. So, and I've got my coffee here too, y'all. Got my. Mm, you have to have coffee, you know. Some of this stuff in here actually talks about like the Surge series, which I thought was interesting. Just to see the kind of love for that. None of y'all played it. It actually is a pretty decent Souls-like. It is quite hard though. But you know, somebody had said, "I'm really excited for Atlas Fallen. Uh, will you ever return to the Surge series?" In which, you know, they spawned, you know, they love the series, and we hope one day that we'll return to it. However, right now there's no follow-up title planned. Our team has spent more than 7 years working on Surge titles, and they're a creative bunch and love to explore new paths. So that's, you know, completely understandable. What were some of the biggest challenges in moving from Souls-like genre, where you were previously known for, to a regular action RPG? And does Atlas Fallen still retain some of that DNA? So here they said the two biggest challenges were, on one hand, the group behavior of enemies, and on the other hand, ensuring the camera and enemies keep up with the player's speed and agility. So if you haven't watched this too, y'all, this is like a super fast-paced action game where you do a lot of even in air fighting. So enemy group behaviors aren't really something in Souls-like, because combat is mainly designed as a 1v1, or when encountering groups, it is expected that the player should somehow split enemies before engaging and fighting. Besides, enemies are meant to be mindless undeads or such, which means that there's no concern about making them look or acting stupid. But in the context of Atlas Fallen, which is much more action oriented, most encounters would feature many enemies, which need to act somehow coordinated and logical. So they essentially had to develop a whole new AI system here, is what they're saying. Regarding players' mobility and speed, while it feels great in terms of controls, it comes with the added challenge of making the camera capable to fall in correctly with the action without moving too much and making the player disoriented. So this is just all they're saying, y'all, is for Atlas Fallen. They redid the AI and they redid the camera controls outside of what you're probably used to from the Surge games, which, if you've seen anything for Atlas Fallen, very much so makes sense, because it's like straight up action RPG. Reviews for the game are going to look like they're going to drop tomorrow. I asked for a review copy. I did not get one, so I most more than likely will not have a review copy out, which is fine. I'm going to buy the game anyways, and I will play it, and I will tell y'all what I think about it. If you made any, what made you change from the Souls-like genre from the last two games? They kind of like said this already. They wanted to expand on their horizons. People are Steam on asking why it's only $50. Well, I mean, this is just, why is this so cheap, dude? Does it suck? Like, what kind of question is that, y'all? I'm guessing they probably looked at Remnant 2 and saw how it broke through. And it's a good price between a AAA and a AA title, which is what this is. This is a AA developer. This is not a AAA developer. Um, so I think that's the pricing on that's actually perfect. Oh my God, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. I sneezed. Awesome. Um, Are we able to continue playing and exploring the world after finishing the main story? And the answer to that is yes. You can continue roaming the world after ending and complete any of the content you have not done yet. Let's see. They created their own engine for this, which is actually really cool. So this game is actually done completely in engine. Uh, is the game structured in main and secondary missions to accomplish? So this game, from what I was when I was reading this, makes me think of God of War. If anybody played that, so essentially the game is going to follow a main quest line from start to finish to tell the main story. Each of the regions, players are going to encounter characters with other side quests, and there are various encampments and settlements and other points of interest in all regions that serve at the game's hub. So this feels very like, it's not fully open world, right? You load into a hub, and the hub is like a mini open world. In that mini open world are side missions as well as your main path, and that's very reminiscent of the God of War games. This whole breakdown is actually about the Surge again, and how Atlas Fallen required a major update to their engine, and the amount of time put into making a unique game world. So again, it's a lot of people who love the Surge, but kind of asking like, oh, well, what was the push for the Switch? There's no cross-platform on this, and this is because the politics behind it. They said basically they could not handle without compromising other things. So there will be no crossplay. There is co-op though. And I thought this was a pretty interesting tidbit too. So, in order to finish the main quest line, the game's going to take you 15 to 20 hours, but there's a lot more content than that. So, in general, the game can easily get you 25. I'm guessing this is 25 to 35, depending on you completionists out there, maybe up to 40. So, it's not an overly large game, but it's not too small. I think a 25-hour 30 game, 25 to 30-hour game is a beautiful spot for something at $50 that you can really get into, sink your teeth in, have a lot of fun. As long as the story's good, then there's a lot of like solid gameplay and value for your money. So, how difficult was it getting the 60 FPS on the Series S? There were people, this guy was impressed to see that. They said getting the game to 60 was quite the big team effort. They optimized the entire content of the game for multiple months to make sure the poly count is on a manageable level. And the VFX team worked close together with the tech team to integrate additional optimizations. So they got 60 FPS, y'all, on the Series S. That's huge. That's huge. In terms of the gauntlet, so this is one of your abilities. Essentially, it's like the source of your power. And they said the gauntlet is the source of your power. And Atlas Fallen size difference is bound to the momentum level you're currently on. The higher, more powerful you are, the bigger your gauntlet is going to grow visually. Out of combat, you're going to have the smaller version. So that's pretty cool. It's not Steam Deck verified yet. Co-op mode was designed best to be experienced with a friend. Obviously, that makes sense. And yeah, they're talking about Remnant 2 and how they like the pricing of that, and that's kind of also where they put their pricing at. There's no dynamic day or night cycle. A lot of people are just saying that they're really enthused to play this game. And after 10 minutes of the introduction, you can fully play Atlas Fallen co-op. So honestly, this looks like a really good game. It looks like a lot of fun. I like this developer. I like the Surge series. I'm excited to check this out in 2 days. I'm actually kind of happy that it's not 60 hours. And the last thing actually I did want to hit on was the weapons. So they have 3 weapon archetypes, which is the Doom Cleaver. It's going to be a heavy weapon. The Knuckle Dust, which is like a fast weapon focused on dealing damage to single targets. And then the Sand Whip, which is that kind of like long reach, specializing in building up momentum. So there you go. And most equipment consists. Sorry, I forgot about this one. And then the equipment consists of essence stones, idols, 2 weapons, and the armor, which defines your stats and have additional bonuses which can be unlocked if you meet certain requirements. Slow enemies upon receiving damage if you X, or more stones of this type. Upgrading armors gives you perk points, which allow you to unlock various perks that are permanent on your avatar, no matter the armor. So that's pretty cool. I hope y'all are just as excited as I am. I will be streaming it on day 1 because I like to do that for games that launch that I'm interested in. And yeah, I hope you, if you want, I'll have the link to the AMA in the Discord. I mean, in the YouTube link, should you want to go and see this. Personally, I think it sounds like they did a really good job setting this up. It's a brand new engine, essentially, like redone from the ground up to push away from the Surge to move into this kind of action genre. And honestly, it looks like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Make sure you like and subscribe and are following for more Atlas Fallen content. And, check out my live streams every evening, Monday through Friday. We're currently playing Baldur's Gate 3. I've never played it before, so it's interesting to watch, I think. And I also still play Remnant. So until next time, I'm Hitman BK.